Alright, and we have a captain's mode game for you here. Imkiri, V exclamation mark, Severitas, your own true. Fat Muffins, Jose holy shit. We'll be facing off against Jesus Christ, No English Me Feed, Cubics, Tortillos, and Hell of a Bosnian. The early game bans and selections are actually not very interesting unless you know what's going on behind the scenes. Our team pretty much did not care what was going on for the most part. We were pretty chill. Conversation went along something like, whatever you want. I ended up getting axed and I was pretty happy with it. However, apparently on the other team there was quite a bit of drama going on. The team captain was choosing randomly and not taking any input from his team. He apparently also ridiculed his team later for the fact that they selected Weaver as one of their mid choices, and so apparently he thought they were all stupid and decided to make his own decisions, which didn't work out very well, as you will see. Let's see, other than that, in the early game selections, it is interesting to note in the bans that all of the bans are pretty much carries. I tend to find that unless you're talking about like a sniper or a Phantom Lancer or something like that, maybe a Meepo, carries are not really that devastating. Marana ended up being one of the poorer players on our team, but at least our team did try, as you will see. We'll get into that in a little bit. No English Me Feed is actually the team captain and the guy who will later choose his hero, according to the other team, based on the fact that it was what one of the other players wanted. So apparently he thought it would be the thing to do to take it. Yeah. We're going to speed this up a little bit. Our team kind of went a little backwards because I think Marana was actually planning on being a carry, although it did not work out that way very much. Normally I would see supports picked, then carries, but it is also possible he was thinking that as a support. There was a little bit of discussion on our side about whether or not we would really have the right makeup of a team, because in my opinion, I made the comment that we had too many quasi-supports. Like, to me, Marana is played as a carry, but can also be played as a support. They were talking about they wanted a Pudge, which we did not end up selecting, and then they also were talking about having a some other hero that was a quasi. We had an Axe, which Axe, typically goes carry, but can be a support player. And then once you start seeing what their picks are, like they'll have a Phantom Lancer here in a second and whatnot, or not a Phantom Lancer, a Phantom Assassin. We will have our own Faceless Void to counter that, but I was kind of concerned until we got that Faceless Void, because there was a lot of suggestions being thrown out there that we were going to end up with a weak late game, but we ended up doing so well in the early game that it didn't matter. It's a little late here. But overall, this game is basically just hilarious. 5 seconds. Reserve time. And relatively short. Quite a bit of domination going on. It's also interesting to note that according to No English Me Feed, Bristleback should dominate Axe in lane, and while I would not consider myself the ultimate expert on Axe or Bristleback, I would like to see the 1v1 lane where Axe loses to Bristleback. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Beefeat also made the accusation of the up-and-coming Phantom Assassin that all she did was dagger. By that point, I had decided that guy was an idiot and was just trolling him by making comments like the dagger has a crit function now, so it's a valid strategy to be constantly daggering. But I'm gonna be switching over to directed camera now. To free camera. Now in the early game you will see quite a bit of action in bottom lane, and it was very concerning because you know, at first I was like, they're gonna do a tri lane because I saw just the bristleback, and I was a little worried about that. Our team wasn't really sure how we were doing our bottom lane, middle lane setup. Quite a bit of harass going on up north at top lane. I kept Bristleback on his toes. I like to keep some mana on hand as axe. I don't have any at the moment, but I will get some. And I do, especially on a single lane like this where he doesn't really have any healing abilities. I'm going to do quite a bit of battle hunger and helixing to keep him away from any farm, and I play fairly aggressively. Middle, from what I could tell, middle was not very, middle was not done very well. I never really understood what was going on there. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it. I mean, out of our entire team, we've got everyone mid, everyone bottom. They've got, you know, one mid. We've got one mid finally. I believe First Blood's going to be coming up here in a minute. You'll note Mirana will miss her attempts repeatedly to get off a successful arrow. Up until there's a fairly funny one later on. And I'm wearing him down on his tangos. I continue to do that until he runs out. Now this Meefeed is the team troll who is apparently putting a lot of pressure on his team, a lot of communication abuse. There was a lot of infighting, which was amusing because on our side we were starting to be, not quite at this point, but a little later on, we were starting to be a little concerned. I wasn't as concerned as the rest of my team because First Blood, you know, went to no English. He gets the next few kills. But to be fair, I mean, it's a Storm Spirit, so I mean, if Phantom Assassin started getting a bunch of kills early game, I'd be a little concerned. But Storm Spirit, I wasn't as concerned with necessarily. As you can tell, I've got Bristleback to the point where he has no remaining tangos, and he's not really getting much farm. He's buying a potion. I should be having some mana potions coming in soon. And meanwhile, we got our first kill. It's a little iffy down there. Faceless. Don't know what Faceless was thinking. Don't know what Coddle was thinking. Coddle said that he wasn't a good Coddle, but I mean, bad player versus bad Coddle? Something like that. And Moran is just kind of chilling. Yeah, this is where our team started to get a little iffy on how good we felt about this game. A little bit of kills starting off on Meefeed there. Just thinking he's cock of the walk. I should have done that hungering a little sooner, but I didn't have the mana for it. And back to mid. I honestly thought that Coddle would have been a much better mid. You know, he would have kept the lane pushed. Rubric, I think, would have done much better on bottom as a support, just to help Faceless and keep the lane in check. Moran is just kind of chilling up there, because why not? In a little bit, I will pick up my first mana potion. I dived a couple times that I shouldn't have. Just kind of it ended up wasting a little bit of time, but I knew I had that potion, so I wasn't too concerned. Well, and there goes Faceless, taking some random damage for no reason. And Marana with her first of many misses, at least the first that I see. Back up north, I had my mana potion and my HP potion. Going in for it, going in for it. And the big one! Unfortunately, I make a bad decision at this point, and instead of just taking the tower damage, which I would have survived, I decided to go this way. And I get so close, I just needed one more double helix than I got, but none for me. And our Rubric wasn't smart enough to come help me. So, but no problems, it was my mistake in the first place. Snuffed out. Meanwhile, our team trying to get a kill to counter the fact that they are still getting farmed in bottom lane. And instead, Ron is gonna get killed. Oh my gosh. Oh, the things that I missed by not paying attention to bottom lane. Wow. And I'm back on the prowl up north again, preventing him from being able to get any farm as much as possible. And, you know, let's be honest, I don't have a lot, but I certainly have more than he does. Apparently he was also catching a lot of flack for feeding, even though he only dies a couple times overall. One of Mirana's classic arrows. The exclamation exclamation must stand for very bad at Mirana. It's a terrible pun. And I see this a lot nowadays, and I do not see why people are running trial lanes with late game, because you're going to be making it very hard for them to get any experience in the early game, you know. And I mean, maybe if you're able to support them, wow, wow, maybe if you're able to support them well enough, such that they can get some kills early game, that's great. But I tended to see over, for the most part, that the lanes just kind of push back and forth, and there's not really a whole lot of kills, and they don't get the XP that they need. Getting ready for we're getting ready for a big one, and the big one. And Mirana tried to take it, but that's all mine.
Radiant structures are
then I believe I'm getting ready to try to help out somewhere down in the bottom lane or middle.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As good as I'm doing, Storm Spirit, obviously level 11, is doing much better than I am. 6 kills versus my 2, even with his 1 death. So even though I said I'm not necessarily worried about it, he is obviously the threat, especially with my team not being really intelligent. You know, and they were complaining that their team wasn't showing a lot of coordination, but I mean, overall, our team, even if we were coordinated, we didn't have the best players. Fortunately, I did have a hero. If I'd have gotten one of the other heroes, I probably, like Coddle or Mirana, I would not have been very happy, because I would not have been doing very well.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
And now I've got my battle hunger, but I wisely chose to not follow him into that tower. Lots more going on bottom lane. he's getting because no one on our team warded, but no one on their team warded, so it's all good. Now they're running that 4 bot lane. Or I'm sorry, we were running that 4 bot lane. And I'm pretty sure at this point that he's just sitting there complaining to his team. Because I'm pretty sure this is the point where they were beginning to be very displeased. Because we were starting to come back a little bit. Yeah, this is where I'm going to teleport to base and then head over. And there it begins. When you're looking at game stats, the last hits and denies, you know, I'm obviously going to be at the top in a solo lane. Fat Muffins, I actually played with the game before this, which was also a hilarious captain's match. But, you know, denies, not very many. Last hits, you know, we're all at the top, so, you know, we're definitely doing better than they are. And then when you go to your XP per minute, you know, again, that one guy, now he might have been a jerk, but, you know, he was mid, and so he does have the lead, he does have the kills, you know, he at least was playing his character better than the rest. It doesn't give him the right to be a jerk, and obviously he wasn't able to carry his team in spite of it, so. But see, this is where that tri-lane, you know, Rubric being a support, you know, mid's going to have the most XP, but in that tri-lane, there's just no XP, either them or us. As I told Coddle earlier in the game, he was going to be about 10 minutes in with more gold than he knew what to do with. And that's what always happens to me. And everyone has 0 fantasy points.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
So this would be my first time to face up with Meatfeed. He puts out a crap load of damage. I did not think that he would be able to put out as much as he did. So I decided to back up a bit.
Out of my way.
Yep, there's some of that wonderful team commentary. I'm not really sure why Bristle stayed top. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I think at this point they were just demoralized from all of the infighting. And to be fair, that was part of the reasons why I was responding the way that I was. Because I figured if I could troll them into arguing, we would have an easy victory of it. And we do. Alright, so for the most part, again, team's kind of running around. We're finally getting together a little bit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And I decided to go bottom to pick up a little farm. In retrospect, I should have gone top to kill Bristle, or middle to help my team, but retrospect is 2050.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I really do like Axe overall as a hero. He's a good carry. I do not ever play him as support. I don't play most supports as supports, which I know makes me a terrible sport, but the Shadow Shaman, for example, you know, I'll buy wards and stuff, but Shadow Shaman is just such a good CC nuker and lane pusher. We did get a good call out that there was a DD. DD's been there for quite a while. So I knew this was going to be a good opportunity to push that tower down. So we ran in. And there's the taunt! The Helix! Oh! And here it comes! Oh! Give him. Give it. Give it. Give it. Give it.
Over here now.
Boom. Down goes the bad.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Nothing like that DD. Yeah, here comes the classic line. Apparently Bristleback should be able to solo Axe, because that makes sense. I actually did not see that during the game. I never actually saw her ult, which is interesting because her ult is so devastating. There's my pro run right into the disruptor field. And about that point, I got tired of his constant mouth. So, the good old mute, best thing in the game. Go play COD. Reminds me of playing Bad Company. Everybody was always like, go play COD. And at this point, Meathy decided to go after his namesake and for what he will soon be reported for, which is feeding. Starting into a 5-man. And getting his face rocked off with the big one. Nothing like that culling blade. Fat Muffins is hilarious. There was that. Did you see that pro arrow right there? That was that pro arrow. He had a still target, and he still couldn't pull it off. Meanwhile, more epic axe action.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, he wants to talk about how he's 6-1 and got first blood, but at the same time, he doesn't want to talk about the fact that he didn't do a good job as a captain in his team selection by getting his people heroes that they could use. I mean, CM and Disruptor are good supports. PA is a ridiculous hard game, hard late carry. And then the other two are good choices. But I mean, if they can't play him, they can't play him. That V exclamation guy cracked me up. Report for map hack. Bottom lane is just kind of pushing itself over here. He's not actually pushing. He is actually just feeding at this point. So, game was pretty much over. I'm gonna skip ahead a bit here on the speed. See him run in and feed pointlessly. You get to watch PA as she decides to throw some daggers just to see if she can get some crits, I think. Putting a whole lot of point in that. After we get this tower down...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Soon here I'm gonna have a blink dagger and be able to play around a little bit more.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under. Radiant's top tower. Radiant's bottom tower is under. Radiant's
Disruptor DC, though we knew there wasn't gonna be a lot going on.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And about at this point, though, we will see some interesting action. Faceless chilling. Chilling. Our team spends a lot of time just chilling. Kind of makes me wonder how we actually won. Oh, that's right. 8-1. That would be how we won. 15. Yep. Invisibility. So PA decides to, sit in the back here, throw some daggers, do some random harass, So I decided to counter harass. So I waited for my dagger to come off cooldown. Oh, look. Oh, yeah, you probably better run away. Most random ward placements ever. I didn't even know that. That's funny. She got me with her dagger. Oh, can't do anything. She got me with her dagger.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So I'm kind of waiting now at this point for them to come out and play. But I'm getting ready to charge in there. I've got my blade mail and my blink dagger with my berserker's call. So I'm ready for fun. See if I can get Rubric to give me a hand here. There we go. Come on, pull him out towards me. There we go. Come on, get the taunt. Oh, drag him back out. Drag him back out. Oh, get him. Oh, he gets back into safety. So, you know what they say. If you can't get them to come out and play with you, you go in and play with them. It's that ZXQ combo, baby. ZXQ. Are going down. Boom! Teleport in. Blade mail. Calling blade. Go, go, go with the taunt. Oh, no victory. No victory. No victory. That's okay. We've been keeping them bottled up, even though most of them are DC'd, and they're just waiting for us to win anyway.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
And I'll just take this as a quick moment to thank everyone for watching. Hope that the trolling was a little entertaining.
Radiant's middle barracks have fallen.
PA is going to get a kill here in just a moment. Not surprising, as Coddle is not very good at Coddle. Oh no, not a mana drain PA. What's she gonna do with mana drain? Yeah, and then that super underfarmed Faceless is gonna go after her.
Coming back to me.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Coddle teleported back, doing some pushing. And come back down. Speed this up a bit. It's just down to PA. Game's almost over.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Now this is a great opportunity for a slow-mo.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That would be me auto-attack moving and not really paying attention. Faceless Void trying to get himself killed by a tower 26 minutes in.
Life to the fates.
That went well, I think.
Alright, so at this point in the game we've got a massive creep wave that is deciding to go right in. So this is it, baby. Go for the gold. Bam. Pop that telly. Hit that taunt and blade mail. Boom. Give me, let me see it. Let me see it. Oh. Now right there I should have culling bladed right on top of that PA, but I didn't see it in time. Should have done it on the bristle. Didn't click it in time. It's okay, I still got HP. There's still lots of creeps in there. Bam. Come on, come on. Oh, kill stolen. Kill stolen. Get that hungering on there just because why not? Oh, come on, give me the culling. There it is. Come on. Boom goes the dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching a Severitas Axe game. I hope you were as entertained as I was. Have a good evening.
Radiant's agent is under dire victory.